Welcome to Cash Cuties, a super personal finance podcast where we look at your friends' credit card statements and judge their spending habits with love. But sometimes it's not about that at all. I'm Fumi Abe.
And I'm Steffie Baik. If you're listening on your Apple Pod app, please leave us a review, hit follow on Spotify, and sub to our YouTube channel for the video version of this podcast. All the links are available in the episode description below. And Dono Daddies, thank you so much. We have one from Sakura for $7.50
Canadian dollars. Shouts. Thank you so much.
Saeed.
$20. Thank you so much.
And our favorite, Chris Mack.
17 UK pounds. That's a lot, I think.
That's so much.
That's so much money. Oh my gosh.
Thanks, Chris. Chris got that money. Got that.
We're not supposed to say last names.
Oh no, it's okay because he's a fan from Fun with Dumb, and he actually we went on he has a convertible BMW out in the UK.
Oh, did you hang out with him when you were there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
amazing.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Dono Daddies, thank you so much. Again, if you want to support the podcast, please go to patreon.com/cashcutiespod. And in exchange for your donation, you get bonus episodes and behind the scenes content. So I think we have like 6 or 7 bonus episodes right now that are not currently on the feed. So if you want more of this, go to patreon.com/cashcutiespod.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
I wanted to start here today. I got some goss.
Oh my God,
I got some fun goss about celebrities and money, and I don't want to say their names because I don't want to call out anyone, but I just wanted to share it with you. I'm wondering when I tell this story if I should just not say the name or just say it and I'll bleep it out after. Do you want to hear the name? What do you want?
Wait, is it that one right there?
Yeah.
No, I don't, because I know them.
So you don't want to hear me say that name?
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Don't say it.
Okay.
Just call.
It's nothing bad.
Call them something else.
It's not a scandal.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's not a scandal.
Okay.
So this is something that happened to my friend.
Okay.
And so there is this famous Asian comedian. Okay, that's all I can say. It's a famous Asian comedian.
There's not that many.
It's okay.
Actually, there are.
Let your imagination.
Okay.
Hey, hey, I'm one of them. Okay. Famous Asian comedians.
You did make that. Congratulations on that vulture.
Oh, thank you.
Comedians to look out for. He made the cut, guys.
I made the cut.
Yo.
Check it out. Check out the article on Vulture. Anyways, okay. So this is famous Asian comedian, right? And my friend had opened for this comedian once, and they had run into each other.
I already know who you're talking about.
They had run into the street. They ran into each other on the street. And my friend was like, "Oh, so good to see you. Like, it's good to reconnect. You want to grab coffee sometime?" And this famous comedian was like, "Of course. Let's get lunch. Blah blah blah." So like a week later, they get lunch, and then they're like talking about the biz. They're talking about what just getting advice, just some general comedy talk. Blah blah blah. And then afterwards, the famous person didn't pick up the check, and they didn't go anywhere fancy. My friend told me they just got a sandwich. And my friend was like, it's not like I needed the money, but it's just like, come on, you're like on television and I'm like some fucking opener, and he didn't pick up the check. And then my friend was like, look, I'm not holding anything against that person, but it's something that I'll never forget. And I just thought it was interesting.
Wait, didn't even like look at it? Like, didn't even like do the fake open?
I don't think so. I think it was like, let's just both pay kind of thing.
They split it.
Yeah. No, he didn't. This famous comedian didn't make my friend pay for it. It's just that, typically, like when I go out when somebody above me takes me out, they always pick up the check. That's just sort of like a silent rule, I feel, in comedy, but just, I guess not even comedy, like any line of work. If your boss takes you out, he pays for the meal.
I also think it has to do with the culture. So,
explain.
Well, I don't know. Are we giving up too much when we say the culture?
I already said Asian comedian.
Oh, okay, okay. So like everyone's Asian in this situation.
Yeah, okay,
so like, I think when there's someone above and well, first of all, if you're already more successful, typically I've noticed that they pick up the check.
100%.
Not 100%.
Oh,
but most of the time. Most of the time.
I agree with you. Yeah.
But the fact that both these people are Asian, it's even more so like I think a cultural thing.
How do you know that my friend is Asian?
Because I just assumed I know who it is in my head. Wait, tell me if it's
No.
Oh
No.
Is it a woman?
Somebody else. I don't want to say. But
wow! Wait. Okay. It's getting
so
weird.
Okay, it is a woman, and so maybe there's something here about maybe the famous comedian didn't want to seem creepy.
Yes.
And could that be part of it?
I think that could be part of it. Well, I don't know. I'm not a man, so I don't know. But I assume that a man would
in today's
feel that.
climate, maybe that's a thing. It's like, oh, they get a sandwich together, but if he pays, then maybe it can be misinterpreted.
Do you think
something.
this person is considered someone who is a bit of a saver financially, a little bit more? In my head,
I have no idea.
Me, he seems like someone like that. Maybe because he's like, I don't know. It depends on the person and like, okay. So anyways, I feel like it's a little weird.
It's a little weird, right?
But also, it's all right. It's not a big deal, right?
I don't know. Like, it's not a big deal because at the end of the day, this goddamn sandwich was like $15. So it's not like financially, it means nothing to anybody. That I understand. But I can tell you that when Ronnie Chang takes me out, he always pays. He doesn't do it very often. But
Ronnie is the type of guy.
But even if it's ice cream or like coffee, he always pays. Always pays.
I think because he didn't grow up here.
I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Yeah, because he's like fatherly.
Yes, he's fatherly. Like I don't need him to pay for everything, but I like.
We love that.
The feeling that I get is nice because I think. I don't think my love language is a gift, but I think in that scenario, I think in a lot of cultures, like Japanese culture, Korean culture, there's this nice thing of like
Are they friends?
The senpai takes care of the Ronnie and this person.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See that there's a little bit of a difference. If you maybe, I don't know if, I think that like if it's a friend more so they're down to pay also.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because I guess like it's hard to say if Ronnie and I are like, or like
he's a mentor.
He's more of a mentor than a friend. Like we don't like hang.
There's also an age gap. Does the other people have age gaps?
Sure. Yeah, I think there's an age gap.
Okay, see that's weird to me because like the Asian culture, I feel like there's something about being the elder one who is also just doing better. But I have to tell you, there are so many times I've had to pay for men. Friends and who are more successful, who are mentors, who are older.
You pay for them?
I've done that. Like
why?
And it's always ingrained in my head because I do this thing where I immediately bring the check out because I don't want them to think anything weird. So I'll when the check comes out, I go and dig into my bag to do the thing, but at least to split it, right?
Yeah.
But there has been instances recently where I'm paying for all, and then they go, "Oh, okay." Dude, I feel so embarrassed as a cash cutie to not be able to speak up.
Yeah.
But these are older men who I think have a better, like, I'm almost certain they're more successful than me.
Yeah.
Who do not also go, oh, they're not like, oh, no, let's split it. That's not it. It's a whole, oh, thank you. Like, they do the whole, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going to get it. This has happened to me 3 times recently in the last 2 months, and I feel weird about it because I don't know what to do.
Why don't you go this? Anytime. So your objective is you don't want the other person to think that you'd expect them to pay. So your instinct is to pull out your card, just be like, I'm ready.
Yes, or that they think I'm interested in them.
Right. So that's a very good point. So is it worth it to be like, the check comes, take a beat, reach your wallet and be like, should we just split it? Like, is it worth it to just say that?
Dude, one time I said that, but it was like it was almost like in the mix of them saying, oh, are you right? So our words got jumbled up together. Like he didn't hear me because we were in a loud restaurant.
Okay, he didn't hear you. So then what did he think?
So when I went into the back, and I said, and I pulled it out, I said, when I was like, he was all like, oh my God, thank you. Like, it was immediate. And then I went and I looked at them and I said, I couldn't because he already thanked me.
I know. This is what happened to me at the Vegas parking guy. Remember I told you?
Yeah.
I tipped, he thanked me for tipping him before I tipped him.
The valet guy.
So I had to tip him.
Yes.
He thanked me before I did it. You can't fucking thank.
No.
That's non-consensual tipping. We don't do that here in Cash Cuties.
I've literally never done. Even if a man's gonna pay for me, I've never ever first just been like, the minute they're like, I'm not like, thank you.
I know. That's
should
crazy.
Should we start doing that?
You could, but that's
I don't even want that. I don't want them to pay us.
Raised us. That's not how we were raised.
And I don't want them to do that because out of that, right? I want someone to pay for me because they want to.
Yes.
Not because they're tricked into it.
Exactly.
I feel fucking tricked into it.
Dude, that's awful. That's fucking awful,
maybe
man.
I'm doing it too. should we let's role play it
Okay.
so people can also like, if you want to check us out, you check and you just listen to us, check
Okay,
out
cool.
our YouTube. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So the check comes.
So I'm in my purse, right?
Okay.
I go,
Check comes.
okay.
What is it right here?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
It just comes, right?
Okay.
It just came.
Okay. Yep.
Oh.
Wait. What do you want me to do? You want me to?
You're the other person, and you're
Okay.
the person you're my friend.
And I'm gonna pretend. I'm gonna expect that you pay. Is that the role play?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's
We can do it
okay.
again. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you. You really don't have to do that. That's really nice of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
That's
no
really sweet of
worries.
you.
Get,
That's so sweet of you.
Yeah, it was
So
really
sweet of
nice you
you.
came out here, so I was really excited to
Yeah.
see you.
Thank you.
Wait, did
Chick's
my
gone.
face? Did
Chick's
my face
gone.
not? People tell me by my expression, like sometimes it's like obvious when I'm thinking. Do they not read my fucking face? That am I so good at being
You're
like,
so good at acting that I believed you. You gotta stop taking those Meisner classes.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, the Meisner would make me actually react in a way that's like obvious to that person. I think
That you don't want to pay.
But I think what really happens is I feel so bad that already happened.
Well, it's
and
already
the
it's awkward to
awkwardness.
be like, oh, hey, actually, I don't want to pay for you. It's an
That's
awkward
so
thing to say.
fucking
No, It's
awkward.
awkward. It's awkward. I think so. So it seems like if you don't want to say anything, it's purely a timing issue. So when the
Timing.
check comes, give it, count to five Mississippi. Let the man reach for his wallet, then you go.
I
and
hate
then,
that moment. I hate it so much.
I know, but now if you both pull it out, it's like, now we're gonna split because it's both out. We already whipped it out.
Or it could be like, okay, I should say, hey, let's split it and then grab it.
Yeah.
But hold on. But what if there's a chance they want to pay for me?
That's
first?
why you give it 5 Mississippi. You let them make the move because they're gonna pull out the wallet, especially if they're more successful than you. They're gonna pull out the wallet, and then you'll do the reach, and then you could be like, "Oh, should we just split it? Shall we split
If
it?"
if they don't say it, if
they
a
don't
guy,
say it.
if the
and,
guy,
and they might be like, "Yeah," and that's good for you because then it's like, okay, no sexual tension here. We're both paying for a meal.
but if it is a friend who there is sexual, we don't know the dynamic.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with them, but they're down to pay for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it fucked up of me to allow them to pay for me?
No.
Allow them, right? Because they
Allow them.
want to.
Because they want to.
They want
They're
to.
getting something. I mean, I've paid for people who I'm not necessarily trying to fuck, or even if I am, I don't like, just because they don't fuck me doesn't feel like I don't feel like this dinner was a waste of time. Like I still had a good time and I wanted to treat you because that makes me feel good. So it's I don't think it's necessarily like a trans. You're not a you don't have to feel like a prostitute or anything like that in this moment. I think it's totally fine. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. But yeah, so I would do the 5 Mississippi method.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna try that next time, and I'm gonna take
or just
it
like
slow.
FaceTime me, bro. Put me on the table. What's good, Steven Yun?
He's my
You trying to split this check with my friend?
he's my food splitter manager. Talk to
You have to talk to him. I'm so
I said,
sorry.
yeah.
No, you go to the you FaceTime me
Yeah.
and I need to use the restroom. You leave the phone like this, prop it against the water, go to the bathroom, and I'll take care of the rest. I'll take care of the rest. My God.
Sup, my guy.
Anyways, let us
Yeah.
know in the comments what you think about Steffie's situation. Also, this thing that happened to my friend. Tell us how you would feel if that happened to you.
Oh, God.
We'll be back with our guest. We're super excited to have this guest on today. So we're
Hell
it's
yeah.
gonna be a great time. But yeah, we'll be back.
All right, bye guys. So today's guest is the creator and co-host of TigerBelly and Trash Tuesday. Please welcome to the show the podcast queen herself, Khalyla Kuhn.
Thank you, guys.
This is so exciting.
This is crazy. Thank you so much for coming here, by the way.
Of course.
We are
of
huge
course.
fans.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I should say that I have food poisoning at the moment, but you guys set me up with a banana, some crackers, and Tylenol. So
You
thank
are
you.
such a pro at potting.
It's insane. This is the Michael Jordan flu game.
Seriously.
Khalyla's podcasting career. It's like, damn, remember in 2023 when she did Cash Cuties and she
Yeah.
was just vomiting the whole
Dude,
time?
I will literally shit on this couch and still keep going. And you're gonna be like,
That's a pro.
yeah, that's
I'm
some
like,
pro
Khalyla,
shit.
you're leaking. She's
That
like,
is-
no, I gotta
No,
tell you a
I
story
don't-
about
fine.
my Filipino dad.
I'm sticking around.
We
Dang,
love that.
you're
We love
the
that.
goat though. Like you are one of the first podcasters I think female podcasters that I know of, or maybe the only one I've known.
That was
of.
iconic for a while.
Yeah, it was-
for a while.
No, even now, yeah. So you're like an OG.
Trailblazer.
Yeah, I think that Bobby and I were even before TigerBelly, we used to go on DVD ASA with David Cho and Asa Akira, and we did that for a couple of years. And we were just the OG dirty Asians, I feel.
Yeah.
Like we were like, no one was really talking about getting diddled or, having like a murderous like uncle or just like we were throwing all of our bad stuff out there.
Yeah.
And we were like, no one's listening, right? Who cares? But they were. So
intently too.
Yeah.
It's all the dirty Asians who like want who are secretly covering themselves, like masking themselves as if they're not. But there's so many
like
dirty.
us.
Yeah, us. I don't like. I'm disgusting. Like
Same.
I like can shower like
we know.
once every. Yeah, it's gross. My friend actually told me I stank the other day. And I was like, oh no. And then he was like, just kidding. No, I just don't want to make you feel bad. And I was like, no, you have to tell. Like when you have really bad breath or something, I feel like it's your job to like tell your friends.
Well, yeah.
Don't, right? That's a real friend.
100%. Because I mean, like, but then there are some people though who have just that sensory adaptation where they really can't smell themselves anymore.
Yes.
And I'm like, how?
I think bad breath is hard to detect on yourself. I will say.
Breath is hard.
I think breath is hard. I think typically you get like a weird taste in your mouth and you can kind of tell.
Like a staleness, right? Like classroom breath.
Yes. I think there's like a certain bacteria. Like your tongue gets white and shit. I've heard that.
Classroom breath.
I've never heard this term.
Yeah, it's like early morning, 10 a.m. You haven't quite. Yeah, it's like a stale classroom breath.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really describe it other than those.
Like I just imagined like chalk, a kid eating chalk and like pencil dust, like that
pencil
type of.
dust doesn't have any odor.
But the essence of it in your mouth and like what that means entails of a kid with braces just kind of like.
Did that change? Like, do you shower more often now? Because I know you typically don't shower that often.
I think it's like as an adult, that I'm aware. No, it's not that I don't shower my body. It's I don't wash my head because my bleached hair. I don't want to fuck it up.
I thought you were saying you don't shower like your body every day.
No, my hair.
Oh, that's normal.
So you take care of your essentials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I just lied right now.
The
it's
essentials?
not every
The essentials? You gotta clean the essentials, dog. That's gross.
It depends,
All
dude.
right.
If I'm
That's
gonna
very
see
Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher of you, right?
And by that, she means you're supporting Danny Masterson. That's what she means by
I
that.
know. Oh my god.
Not funny.
God.
Not funny.
Not funny. But that's you.
Laugh
That's
at
your
that.
life. Should we get into it?
Yes.
Khalyla, we always ask our guests this. How are you doing financially?
This year or just overall or this exact moment?
Just like your mental status, how you think you're doing financially.
Right now.
Financially, okay, so I'm somebody who's a little bit of like a perfectionist, so like nothing will ever make me feel like I'm doing okay. I think on a scale of 1 to 10, let's put it at a 7.
Really?
Yeah.
You feel at a 7 right now?
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
good. That's like
surprising.
healthy. You feel healthy enough. Like for you especially because you're like, it's never going to be a 10.
It's never going to be a 10. And only because I think the more money I make, the more responsibilities I take on. Like I have a lot of family in the Philippines. So in my head, it's like, okay, well, I'm making more this year. Therefore, instead of just fostering or rescuing 10 dogs, we're going to go with, a retired rodeo horse this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're just going to keep upping the and the same thing goes with my family in the Philippines. It's like instead of just taking care of 3 nieces, now it's like, oh no, I made more this year. Let's throw in a couple
I've heard
more.
this so much, especially from the Philippines. I think as just immigrant families, like I get that, but specifically my Filipino friends, I feel like they've told me like their aunties and aunties ask them for money every time, and like when they travel to the Philippines or when you travel to the Philippines, they expect you to pay for when you go. Is that
for everything?
Yeah,
everything. And it's kind of like for me at least, I understand it because you can be the hardest working person there and still not make ends meet because it is very much like a lot of people live in abject poverty. It's third world. So there is not necessarily like a middle class. So you either live here or you're very like affluent, right? So I understand it. And so like when I go back home, you have to kind of allocate a certain like amount.
You really just give him money. They're not gifts. You just straight up give him cash.
I love when my family's like, oh, can I borrow? I'm like, why are you using that word? I'd rather you just be straight up and just like give me this amount.
Yes.
Like there's no borrowing here. There's
Right.
never been borrowing since like the dawn of time.
Right.
Like
You can't borrow money with family.
No.
No. You
No.
have to give it.
It's given.
It's always
Right.
giving, even if they say that.
Right.
Or you're just not
Yeah.
even a good family member.
Or my dad always says, if you are lending money or giving money to someone for them to borrow, like you're gonna build that resentment. So like consider it gone. So just like don't even put it in your head that you'll ever get it back, because if you expect it, the rage will build.
Do you
Right,
ever
right,
feel
right.
used when you're there because of that, or do you like because you have the money, and the means, and you see how they live, that you're
happy
okay?
to
Yeah,
give.
you're happy.
I'm okay with it because all my entire they're all super hardworking. It's just like it's weird. Shit's hard over there. But I do have a couple like aunties who will guilt you if the answer is no, and they'll forget all about all the other times that you've given them money. But if the answer is no one time, because like, hey, can not right now, or then they do the guilt trip thing.
What factor comes into play for you to say no versus yes? Is it like the way they ask, or just how you're personally doing financially? Like maybe this year or this month you had to buy something kind of expensive, so you don't feel like dishing out another 10K.
If it's not an essential thing where she's like, oh, give me this amount for my birthday. I'm like, you're 30 years older than me. Where's my birthday gift? You know what I mean? Like, send me a card. And this is always a big fight in my family where it's like, yo, like, I'm fine giving, but like, call me once in a while. Ask me how I am. Send a birthday card. That shit don't cost that much. So that's where I get like my feelings hurt.
Yeah. Can I ask? Now, obviously, you have Trash Juices and Tiger Belly, both like huge podcasts, changed the entire landscape of the thing. Is that when they started asking, or have they been asking for a long time? Because the way you're talking about it, it seems like you've been giving for a long time, maybe before Tiger Belly was even big.
Yeah, I was giving the shoes off my feet since I was really young, because my sister and I swam for the Philippine national team, and we would get like a stipend, or we were sort of supported by the government when I lived there.
Yeah.
And so I remember getting like a whole deal with Adidas, and my sister got a deal with Reebok. And my uncles would be like, we never got our sizes. My mom would be like, get this size, because they would give you like free gear, right? And I would just basically shop for my uncles, and they'd be in Reeboks, and my sister and I'd be like, we don't get to keep anything for ourselves. And my mom's like, no.
Dude.
I
Wow.
know.
So did you feel do you remember how much you were getting in terms of stipends back then?
I mean, like equivalent here, basically, like next to nothing. But over there,
Right.
it's
That's interesting, because like, what was the Olympics? Is that the
yeah.
national
My
team is?
sister, my sister and I entered for like the Southeast Asian Games and stuff like that. But the goal was to make it to the Olympics.
Right.
That's why we ended up coming to America, and we swam Division 1 here.
Oh shit! I
Yeah.
didn't know. That's why you
That's
came
so
over. That's
sick.
crazy. Well, because it's interesting, because like Olympic athletes and stuff, that's like infamous for not making a lot of money, right? Or I think it's free, maybe.
I think compared to other countries, I think Americans do not make like if you like other countries, I think per gold medal you get a ton, but I don't think Americans do. Like I don't know how much Michael Phelps made when he won like everything.
It's
that
more
year.
about the sponsorships. That's where the money comes from.
But
it's the deals.
Yes, I think maybe even after, because to compete in the Olympics, you have to be an amateur. Like say for instance, like figure skating, like you cannot go pro. If you're pro, then you cannot compete in the Olympics. So it's this weird thing where you cannot necessarily take sponsorships until you go pro.
Did you do you remember spending money a certain way when you were out there, like when you would make money?
I was a kid, right?
Yeah, but were you allowed to, or did your parents?
No, my parents took our money and handled it and dispersed it as they saw fit. Yeah, to my uncles, basically.
Can you talk to us more about like what was the vibe of money like when you're growing up? Like, did your parents talk about it? Did you
in
grow
the
up?
Philippines?
So,
yeah, the Philippines, was it middle class? What was how did you view
so
money
my
growing
dad
up?
was very, very affluent. He comes from like old European money, but he was sort of this like my dad, when he shot his sperm,
Load.
when he shot his load, was in his 60s. So like I had a really old dad.
Okay.
And he comes from a very affluent European family. But he was just sort of like this playboy in Asia, right? And he was just spending. He lived in hotels for like the first 2 years that he was in the Philippines. And but he squandered most of his inheritance and his wealth. And so basically like my family is like the real life Schitt's Creek, where we had everything growing up. And then by the time we came to America, we were living in a 1-bedroom cockroach infested home in like the snake pits. That was like, I remember my dad cutting a rent check for like $350 a month. So I went from having like our home, like had a maid's quarter, having everything. I went to an international school. I went to private school my whole life. And then coming here and you're like, oh, you're going to Blair High School. And you go and you're like, oh, fuck, what is this?
What was he spending it on?
My dad was like a bad gambler. And I think what happened is that he had transferred a lot of money into like something in Mexico and the peso crashed.
Okay.
And in like the 80s or something like that. I don't really know the specifics of it. But he was like the black sheep of his family. He was a dum-dum.
He squandered it all away. And so you really recognized, it almost sounds like, did you even know you had money like that when you were in the Philippines? Or is it once you came here and then you had like this this crisis basically of being like, oh shit.
It was really obvious because it went from having it all and living in a really big house to having to live in a room in my aunt's house. And while we were still in the Philippines, before we came to America.
And
so we were like, oh fuck.
Did your parents work when they were here then initially? When they
and then my mom, who had never worked really like a day in her life because she married like a wealthy man, now had to be a CNA, which is like, 2 steps down from a nurse. Like you're wiping asses for like fucking.
Oh my God.
And she had to work under the table. And because I don't think she got her green card at that time, or she didn't have like a social security number at that time. But it was crazy. So like our lives just sort of like flipped upside down. But I'm so grateful that it did, because it really gave me like a good, I don't know, I was able to see both sides of it all. I maybe would have been a little bit different if our lives financially didn't come crashing down.
Did your parents fight over money?
All the time. My entire family. That's such a sore subject in our household. Like all of the biggest fights, the stabbings, like my uncles like threatening each other with an ice pick. It's always money related.
Holy shit.
So I remember my sister and I promising each other when we were like 13 and 12, like, this will never be us. We are not going to fight over money. And so yeah, like I think I told you yesterday, Steffie, I was like, money is a very sensitive subject for me. Like I try, when my mom and if there's any conflict around money, like I tend to run away and pretend it's not happening, because it like takes me back to all of the times that, people were fighting in the house over that shit.
Do you feel like because of that experience, and it's affected you so much at a young age, do you feel like it affects how you have relationships from then on? Like, do you get into relationships and fight over money with your, how like we pick up things from our traumas from our parents and then we like pass it on? When you're in relationships, does it affect you guys?
I think it affects me in all the wrong ways, where it's not spoken about when it should be talked about.
Oh, so you're avoiding it still.
I'm avoiding all money talk. And in therapy right now, I'm trying to learn how to have those serious money talks. Because if I'm dating someone, like I don't want to know how much he makes. Like I'm anxious about asking. I feel like it's so personal. I don't want him to ask me how much I'm making. And I'm like, this isn't real life. Like I should be able to talk about it.
Yeah, because they might have debt. Like they might have $100,000 in debt, and then you're like, oh.
Well, we also had we had this person on the podcast who is like part of the FIRE movement. So she retired when she was 41, and she told us how to calculate on that. And she was saying like, one good thing that she said is, I think when you date somebody or in a partner with somebody, you know, you kind of have to be on the same page financially. Whether that, I'm not saying you have to make the same amount, but you have to be on the same page financially.
When do you have that talk though? How soon is too soon?
We were talking about like
situationship or it before or after you're exclusive and
honestly,
official.
I think like the older you get, you have to do it earlier because like I've been with my girlfriend since I was like 24, so we had it like later on, but we had that time to just be kids. But if we broke up and I'm like 33 now, if we started dating now, I don't know. I feel like you would have to come up within the first year if we're being serious.
Oh, first year. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a
I don't
fair
think it's
window.
a first date conversation.
Wait, so I recently went on a first date. I asked them what their FICO score was. No, I'm serious. Because I was like, oh, mine's fucking great.
Yeah.
I like, and you can make it kind of funny. Like we're all funny people. We can make it like not so serious, like or feel not so serious, right?
Yeah.
I think it helps when I'm like, hey, I do this podcast about finances, and it's made me more comfortable speaking about money. How do you make money?
It's a really nice way of asking what do you versus what do you do?
Yeah.
Because what do you do is very like,
it's the worst question.
How do you make money's way more interesting because
like, how do you feed yourself?
Yeah, you could have like we have all kinds of weird jobs to, you know,
totally,
make ends do, especially when you're coming up, for sure.
But so you guys are saying have that conversation ASAP?
Why not?
Well, I wouldn't do it. Okay, I think you're being funny when you're doing it on the first date, but
I am being funny, but I'm also serious. Like my therapist told me I could get to know everything within one day, one date. So I've been practicing ways to like get fucking like just in there when I'm talking to them, like so that I'm not wasting time anymore.
I see, but
it's crazy. I don't know if it's healthy.
You also seem like somebody who's super open. So if somebody like asked you all those things, I feel like there would be less judgment and more earnest answers.
Yes.
And I could see you being with somebody who is the same way. So they might be like, "That's kind of odd, but I'll answer that for you if you want to know that." You know, I got nothing to hide. And I think that's like maybe honestly more intimate than sex, to be honest. Like
it really is
having
though.
that combo up
like
top.
I'm like my sweating just even like thinking about it because it's so uncomfortable.
Food poisoning or is the topic? We don't know.
Hard to say right now.
My gosh.
But you know, like also the conversation about like, let's suppose I date a guy and you know, by all measures, like he does okay for himself, but even I have to ask that question of, does it bother you? Will it bother you if I make this much more than you? Like if his masculinity hinges on his paycheck and how it relates to mine, like, am I just as fuckable to him? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And there are certain situations where like men feel almost immediately emasculated. And I mean, I don't feel like that's my problem, but you know, I do need to know that up front because they might say that, oh no, it's no big deal. But as time goes on and I'm having to pull out my credit card more often, like, what is that? Well, you're a guy.
Are you gonna have a boner at the end of the night?
Yeah,
you know,
like because I'm daddy. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm into that.
And I don't want to be daddy, but
okay.
Will it bother you? I mean, would it bother you?
Well, I think so. I think it's about like, okay, I feel it's like a more of a long-term thing. If it's somebody you're serious about, I think that people in entertainment, like we have good years and we have bad years, right? Like, so I've been with my partner for almost 10 years. When I was writing for TV, I had so much fucking money, and she it was during COVID, so she did speech therapy with like inner city kids, and she couldn't do as many sessions, so she was her salary went from like 110 to like less than 50 because most of her cases got cut. So I would pay for a lot of the stuff, and I would fly her out to LA because we were doing long distance, and I really had no issues with that. And then now I'm not writing for TV and she makes more money than me. So like she doesn't get everything. Like we still split the bills 50-50, but like she might pay for dinner more than me and stuff like that. And I don't necessarily take that as like me being emasculated, but I think it's because we have this agreement of like, when you need your back scratched, I got you, and vice versa. And we've shown each other that.
Well, you've also shown that when you were making more, that you had her back like completely, right?
Yes. But you're talking about just on
But like,
dates.
what if she started making more than you for a longer period of time?
Longer
like
period.
for like.
Yeah, I mean I might
I
be
feel
doing
like knowing you, because you have like a thing with money and power.
Yeah.
Like he likes going to strip clubs and like I feel like you would after
I don't know why you just disclose. Okay, yeah.
because you do it every pod
But it's
you
like
do
not related.
anyways.
But okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So like I feel like if for 5 years you just weren't making money, first of all, just for yourself, you'd personally as a person would feel very insecure.
But I think it's different like with someone like Khalyla because you are like a star in an industry. So I don't know how much you're making, but obviously you're selling out these live shows, right? You're making a lot of money. So I feel like it's kind of unrealistic for like a regular Joe to think that he could make more than you. So, you know, like I think it's beyond just like emasculated, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, and I would hope that, I don't know, like I think emasculating a woman doesn't there's this whole myth around it. I think a man can only be emasculated if he is in a certain like mindset that is already feels like less than. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think if you're like secure, like, and I think that if you, I don't think there's a threat for feeling emasculated.
Do you think that's why, is that one of the reasons why you think, and we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but like, you know, you dated Bobby Lee for a long time and he's also like in the same space.
Yeah.
And he has his own money. And,
yeah, he's a lot of money.
And do you think that's why like you didn't have to really talk about it because you didn't have to worry about him and you could just
it's like everybody from the moment that he posted the first Instagram picture of him and I together, like I was the gold digging whore, right? Like immediately. And so I think that even made me more sensitive about the talk about money. Like God forbid that I was self-sufficient, that I had my own thing going, that I had my own place. Like people,
you're a nurse, right? You had your own thing going.
But they will just reduce you to what is easiest for them to wrap their head around. But also, I find it just really interesting and a little bit like silly that most of these people who are so worried about gold diggers have no gold to dig themselves. Like
It's fucking
like,
true.
bro,
Like,
I promise you, you're safe.
yeah.
Like you're safe. If I am the mastermind, if I am the gold digging whore you think I am, I promise you, you're safe. I'm not coming for you and your little Cheeto fingers. So it's like, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, it's such a, and it's like also like dudes with money. Like, I'm sorry, like I've been around them enough to know like they love to flex that.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not something they keep secret. They like to spend. They like to spend on. Anyways, to answer your question,
I cannot imagine someone like Bobby being like, "Oh, I'm not gonna like pay for this or that because of, like, you know, like he seems like someone who wants to spend a lot."
Not even just
like,
with girlfriends, with everyone, with friends, with male friends. It's just his thing. He likes to treat people, and like I'm somebody who's like, no matter how, even today, right? Even today, if I am dating someone who makes a lot less than me, I still want him to pay for dinner. I'm not going to go Dutch. Especially if we're in the beginning stages of dating. Like, I don't want to go Dutch. I need him to pay.
Right.
You just don't get wet for it. Like, that's how I feel. On a first date,
That's fair.
I just don't feel hot first. Like, it does. And I don't know where that all comes from, right? But I just know that I like to feel taken care of.
Same.
I want to, and for me, love language is gifts.
Oh, that's yours? Gifts?
Yeah, one of my top ones is gifts. So like, I just know that when someone does do something like that for me, it makes me feel like I'm seen or like, you know what I mean? And so if I do go Dutch, there's a less of a chance. They're more like is not even a chance. I don't like it. I just don't like it. Like
if I'm pulling my card out, I've basically already committed to friend zoning you.
Oh,
yeah, like
that's good to know.
Like if I've ever pulled my card out, if it's in the first 3 dates, like you're done. Like we're gonna stay friends.
Wow, I wonder. I bet a lot of people do that. Do you do that?
My mom, when she would go out on dates, she always like paid for it. She would tell me all the time, she's like, I'm paying for it. I don't want them to think that I'm interested in them anymore. Like blah, blah, blah.
Right.
She's always good about being like, I pay.
Wow.
Just pay. So like, you know. But are you saying like, what if a guy doesn't pull, like the check comes and he doesn't pull his card out, do you wait until, and you're interested in them?
So this is where like I feel as though if you're not faster than me with pulling your card out already, like we're done.
We're done.
Because I'm so fast. Like when I want to treat my mother, like I take care of my mom, like my sister, we go out to eat. I'm so fast.
Yeah.
So it's like, be faster than me.
Okay.
Wow.
A counterpoint to that. Do
Wow.
you think that is an Asian family thing?
Yeah.
Because I remember growing up, my uncle would just go to the cashier and pay before the check
It was
would
a
even
fight
arrive.
for
Yes.
it.
Right? And so, but that shit, I'm used to seeing that, so I know
Yeah.
exactly. Like my shit's fast. You know what I'm saying? But could I expect that from a non-Asian person? I
Yeah.
don't know if that's
Yeah.
fair. I have no idea. You know?
You're right, because recently I was dating a guy and I kind of did the same thing where it's like I went, instead of going to the bathroom, I went to, take care of the bill.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? Why did you do that? Like, they've never seen it before. It's never happened. And I'm like, my whole life was watching my dad do that or somebody else do that. And I always found it like, I always get like the warm fuzzies from it.
Yeah.
So,
But that's funny. He was sort of disoriented by that.
Yeah.
You know? It's
He was
like this thing that's a love language for us is just kind of disturbing to another person. It's kind of funny.
Right. So I guess you're right. Like maybe it's an Asian thing, or maybe it's just whether or not you saw it happening growing up that people would do something cool like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Can I ask? So I know I've been like a TigerBelly fan forever, and I know that Bobby always talks about like before TigerBelly, like he was struggling and he was doing these clubs and he couldn't sell tickets, and I think you guys started. You were dating him before he had his resurgence. Is that correct? Now dating Bobby in that stage, what was that like? Because you, with somebody with a full-time job, like did you have more money than him? Like, or was he just as generous as he is now? Like, what was sort of the dynamic back then? Like back then versus now, where you guys are.
What I love about Bobby is I think no matter where he's at financially, he just is a generous guy. And I feel the same way about myself. Even when I didn't have a lot, I was always generous with my family and the people I loved. And we are just sort of very aligned in that way. And Bobby could be destitute tomorrow and say, Khalyla, I need X amount. And I wouldn't bat an eyelash. Like I would say, yes, of course. Like we have that mutual understanding of like, I don't know. He's generous. He's always been. But at that time, like we were less like indulgent at restaurants.
Right.
So Bobby has
You're
this thing
sharing
where
a
it's like,
Chipotle bowl.
yeah, like now he's just like, oh, I'm gonna order everything on the menu just to taste it, right?
Yeah. That's so cute. I love that.
Back then it was like limit 2, you
Yeah.
know.
We'll go to
Yeah.
Sizzlers. Yeah.
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 But I
love
miss
that.
those days. I don't think that us getting more successful or more financially free improve the relationship at all. Like the shared struggle really made us super close. And I miss those days of being in a 2-bedroom apartment. I miss those days having like 7 animals. We were cramped, doing a podcast in the other room. Like we were, dare I say, happier and closer as a couple.
You always hear that
tearing
about
up. I
people
don't know
who are
why.
like, I know it's like so beautiful.
I'm not even part of the
'cause,
family.
like,
I'm tearing up.
yeah, like to see it because like the podcast you had mentioned is like your baby.
Yeah.
So you grew it out of this place of love and passion and also like determination and all these things that make for a beautiful family and love. And so like, yeah, I think it's just sad because we know you guys aren't together. Like that's where I get the sadness because I was like, oh, there's this like weird part of me that's like, oh, hopeful, but like that's weird.
I mean,
know
it seems
that's
like
weird.
you guys are still hanging and very
Well,
close.
they're
from what I
best
hear.
friends, but
Yeah.
like,
and I think that's awesome.
No, I love him
but-
so much. I mean, like, I trust him like implicitly
wait,
too.
has he ever like? What's the weirdest thing you've bought ever? Like, have you ever bought anything that was like strange?
A crazy amount.
Crazy for maybe no, because I don't buy a lot of things for myself necessarily.
You saw that in your statements.
Oh, you did.
You seem pretty like
Well, it's like you take care of yourself, but you're not like. I mean, I guess we'll get into it later. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
very like I was like, because we've had people on here that their credit card statements were like twice the amount of yours, and they are not famous. They're just kind of like
No, they're just
regular
like
people.
they're spending shit
So
on
I
their
don't
cars.
shop a lot on myself. I would say that no, I've never had a wild hair up my ass and thought, oh, I'm gonna buy that obnoxious thing for no reason. No, never.
Has Bobby done that?
Yeah, have you ever seen
God,
anything and made you
yeah.
uncomfortable?
So like,
You're
yeah,
you
you were just like, why did you buy that?
yeah.
Yeah, like one time, like he is the guy who gets so targeted by those Instagram ads. And he is their number one consumer. And I swear to you guys, like one time he was like, you're not going to believe what I bought. He thought that it was like adult size clothing, and he bought like $2,000 worth of baby clothes, like toddler. It was like cool toddler clothes. And he was like, look, they're not my size. I'm like, how did you not check? Did you not look at the website and see that this was like a toddler?
Dude, children's clothing says 0 to 2. Was he buying clothes that said like two?
I love that he's being targeted though.
age.
Like,
He is, but then when I saw it, like the picture, they were cool.
They
It
were
was
cool
like
clothes.
streetwear.
streetwear for 5-year-olds. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That's really.
So I'm like, well, you just bought yourself like 18 midriffs. Let's go.
oh my god.
I love
That's
that. That's so on brand.
hilarious.
We love
Have you
that.
ever gotten mad at him for purchasing something?
I've gotten, yes. Anything video game related,
Mm.
because he would just rack it up. And I'm
Right,
like,
right,
this
right.
is not real life. And how are you continuing to buy? Like, you know, it's just that part I was like, yo, like, you know, easy.
So you
But it
have
was
a
enjo-
financial responsibility a bit. Like you have that
Yeah.
always in you that you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Did you guys like have like joint bank accounts at the time, or was it just more
Never.
just like looking out as a friend, like, hey, I see you're spending like thousands of dollars on these like swords
Right.
on video games or whatever?
Yeah, never a joint bank account. Always like, I think this is excessive what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try not to like micromanage like anyone's money, because I hate when people like do that with me. But with Bobby, it was like a necessity sometimes to
Yeah.
be like, yo, not on
Fucking
games.
clothes.
We have a few rapid fire questions for you. What's a purchase ick for you? Like when I found out that Fumi bought a neck pillow for $50 after reading an article called Top Neck Pillows of 2023 on CNET, like made me feel weird that he spent that much money
So it
on
was an ick for you.
on a neck pillow.
Yeah.
That was like,
So that was an ick.
That's a purchase.
yeah, that's
ick.
definitely like like it made me feel like
She wasn't
what
into
a-
it.
Like it's like too. I don't know what the word is. Like dorky.
It's an ick.
It's almost too.
Yeah, it's not
it's just
gross, it's
gross.
just an
Makes
ick.
my body feel weird.
Yeah. Is there something that if you knew a guy bought,
Someone
you'd be like,
bought.
ugh.
Mhm. Yeah.
But see, I really do understand the neck pillow
Thank
thing.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Steffi, that's such an unfair ick.
But that's what an ick
Finally,
is.
someone takes my side.
That's what an ick is. It's just
Yeah.
weird to you.
Yeah.
Your body feels weird.
Your
like,
body
Yeah.
felt
My body
something when you
repulsed.
imagine being comfortable in the middle.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I got to pod with this sucker. You know?
Yeah, I mean, does it have to be like an overpriced
No.
thing? God, I can't even think.
So my example was like if you found out like the guy you just went on a date with, like he disappeared at the restaurant because he was like using at Denny's. He was like used 25 cents to get one of those like sticky wall things with the hands that go like that, and you're like, what the fuck?
That
like,
he would do that during a date.
yeah, like that he had to go do that. Like he had to
I feel
disappear.
like that's sort of cute. Like there
Okay.
was one instance where I felt like super it wasn't so much an ick, but like a legit turn off. Was when I was dating this guy who was kind of very tight with his money all around, and this was a long distance relationship, and he just really wasn't coughing up a lot of money to come see me. I felt like I was seeing him a lot, but then randomly on like a Tuesday without warning, he was like, oh yeah, I bought like another dirt bike. And I'm like, that's what?
So lame.
Like that's so fucking rude. Like you say you are not that's the kind of bullshit that I don't like, where it's like they're so tight here, but they're so giving to themselves and their whims. Where I'm like, oh yeah, like that's kind of, you're an asshole.
Yeah. That's so
Like,
unsexy.
You could have just kept that to yourself. Like I would have never known you got another dirt
But
bike.
guys like that have no like self-awareness about the way they talk about money affecting other people emotionally, right? Because
Yeah,
he's bragging to
was
you
he a
about the thing.
was he a bro-y type of guy? Like
he was such a nice guy.
Oh,
he was, but he was just like, he clearly saw that I was doing most of the spending and the bending, and he just was, or maybe he relied on, he knew that I was going to do the spending and the bending, so he's like, well, might as well save my money for a dirt bike. I'm like, oh, so rude,
lame.
guys.
Next.
Yeah, I know.
Do you have a purchase yum, which is like the opposite of that? Like anything if you find out, an example
like
from your
hot.
credit card statement,
From
is-
mine?
from yours.
Yeah.
I saw that you give a lot of money to autism charity, and I was like,
that
that's
gave
hot.
him
That's
a
hot.
little.
I think that's
that,
hot.
They gave you a little boner.
No,
Gave Fumi a little
no.
financial
I just thought
boner.
it was like a mental.
It
like,
is hot.
I think it's hot.
Yeah, I think that people who are, oh yes, anytime you give any amount of money to any dog rescues and you and you're just quiet about it,
Yeah.
oh my god, that
You're
would
quiet about
No,
it though.
that's-
Hold
that's
on,
a
there's
point.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
didn't know
point.
she did that because she never talks about that on the podcast, and that's
I
why I
know.
thought it was hot because
Yes.
she's quiet about it.
Yeah, there's something about that, like not
genuinely,
showing off.
I forgot.
That's how you really care.
Okay,
You know,
good,
you're not
good,
doing. It's
good.
not a show for you.
Yes,
Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
It's not for
Um,
any sort of validation
that's
or
what
approval
matters, yeah.
or
Right.
Yes.
So that would be a yum for me if
Yeah.
someone just did it quietly and I just happened to find out by stumbling on like a
Through cash
statement.
cuties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like, oh my god, so sweet, so cute. Yes, turn on for sure.
You have one, Steffie?
Damn. Let me think about
You
this.
put knives on the. Like,
Yeah, like when there's like a
kind?
set when I see like a really like I go into someone's house.
Global
they have
knives?
A real, I just see like like really fancy like sharp knives. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you're cooking.
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
care
yeah.
about that. Like I think kitchen utensils, like kitchen
Utensils
appliances,
Mm.
good chopsticks. You know what I
Good
mean?
chopsticks.
Wait, what kind of chopsticks do you like?
I like. Okay, I have this one set that I actually stole from New York, and it's like plastic. It's a plastic, but it's like sheer. You could look through it. It's almost like
Oh.
acrylic.
Mm.
So you're not going. You like it, the aesthetics of it, the weight and how it handles.
Yes.
You don't care about, or do you do?
I don't like the wood ones. I have a shit ton of wood ones, but they always bend because like you're heating the
Yes.
heat.
That's
affects
right. That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
But I know I'm supposed to like the Korean, the metal ones.
Yeah.
It's not always the easiest to
Yeah.
use.
I don't love the metal
No,
ones
right?
either. Yeah.
Can we say that on
Okay.
here? Is that
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah,
Is that-
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Let's be
it's
honest.
fine.
Yeah.
It's a little-
Difficult.
But
Yeah.
if they are gorgeous, like if I'm having guests over on a New Year's, I have to show the fact that I have those.
Yeah.
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 I'm very
I think
Korean.
so.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is something that we wanted to ask you because Steph and I were arguing about this earlier.
Okay.
Let's say you go into the bar. Don't read this. Let's
Okay.
say you go to the bar and you buy me, you, and Steffi a drink. You buy 3 drinks. Okay. And they say, okay, cool. That's $40. Okay. How much do you? Okay. When you pay. Okay. If you pay with cash, how much are you tipping?
So it came out to
Oh.
$40.
This is a weird way of asking. I guess.
Okay, so if it's the first time, are we staying there for a couple more drinks?
Yeah, a couple more drinks. Yeah.
Okay, I want to be best friends with that bartender, and I want him to make sure that he serves us first always. So I'm tipping almost 100%, if not
So
more.
you're gonna drop $80.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, what Fumi did is gonna blow your fucking mind. 'Cause
Okay.
This is what I thought. Can I say what I thought?
Yes.
I thought I don't drink, so I don't really know manners. I always feel very weird when I'm at a bar talking to the bartender. They never come to me because I'm not making eye contact. I'm being fucking awkward. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know how to play, right?
Yeah.
And I know that, and they could feel it. I always, whatever drink I buy, whether it's a 7-Up or I'm buying drinks for my friends, I give 20%.
Okay.
I do the math of 20%. Now, Fumi, tell her what you do.
So this is So I thought, from what I learned, just having grown up in New York or whatever the fuck, I thought it was $1 per drink. Like if you're at a bar, and usually
That's what I said.
so like if I buy a beer and it's like I don't know whatever $13, I just leave $1. Like if we're paying cash.
But I just said drinks are $4, and you're still giving a fucking
the
dollar.
reason why I bring this up is because recently I've been paying
Her
with
mouth
a
is
card.
still-
When I pay with a card,
chest pain.
when I pay with a card, it looks like you're buying something at a restaurant. So then it feels weird to leave $3 for 3 drinks.
Right.
So then I started doing 20%. But I'm like, but if I was paying in cash, I would probably just leave $3. But I'm like, is it just me or is this crazy?
That's crazy, I think.
I don't know where you got that.
$1 per drink for like a beer or something?
Where is that with like a rule someone like wrote
who told
somewhere?
you that?
I think I just saw my friends doing it when I was younger. Just like, yeah, $1.
Sorry, I have sweat mustache from that dollar thing. This is making me sweat.
Yo.
That is an ick. Are you icked?
A little bit, yeah.
We got our ick, our first ick.
Yo, I just thought, like, I don't know. I like learned that from somewhere. I'm not necessarily like being stingy. I just thought it was like,
No, it's stingy.
you buy a beer, you give them $1.
No, it's really cheap of you, dude.
Yeah, that's almost like just don't.
That's
Like don't even give the $1.
I would only
Okay.
allow that from like a teenager who like just turned 18 or whatever age it is to drink, and they were like, don't have money in my head. Then I'm like, if I was a bartender, I'd be like, okay, they don't know what they're
So
doing.
if you bought a beer for like $8-9, you would leave what, $2 or $3?
Yeah, I'm a great tipper.
Yeah.
I don't
At the
think
bar.
I tip everyone
This
just
is
because
interesting.
it's like I don't know, like that is a service that I mean if I'm sticking around,
Yeah.
like I want the best experience for me and my friends, so I'm gonna maximize that by
What if-
standing out compared to all the other
that
patrons.
makes sense
Yes.
Yeah.
because you're gonna get better. But what if that's by the way, that's like rich people shit. Like rich people do this all the time.
Right,
I
for
see it all.
convenience, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like valet. What if you weren't sticking around though? Because it sounds like if you weren't sticking around and you know you're going to the next bar and it's your first drink and you're buying, what do you do then? Do you do the math or how?
I don't do the math. If it's at least 50%, like I just whatever I have in cash at that moment.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a
Yeah, I'm a great tipper.
But everything? How about McDonald's?
Everything.
McDonald's 50%?
Everything.
Whew.
Okay. What if they're mean to you though? What if
Even more. Bobby and I have this rule where if they're mean, you almost have to make them feel so guilty for being mean. One time we were at BCD. I swear to you, the guy, he served us our sundubu. Like he like pushed it. Like the boiling water could have splashed on our faces. Like he was so fucking mean. I don't know if he hated us, he hated his life or whatever. But he just slid it over to us both. And Bobby and I were like cry laughing because we were like, he just doesn't want to be here. He hates his life. Like, but what he did, I found to be really interesting, which is he wrote a little note like, hey, hope your day is like better. And he tipped like, I think we had maybe our bill was like $40.
Yeah.
He tipped $100.
Wow.
He was like, that guy's having the worst fucking day.
Wow.
And so it's almost like to counter something there. I don't know if that was the right move, but because now people are going to be like, well, fuck, I'm going to throw boiling water at Patriots' faces now.
you guys are fucking this up
Yeah,
for
you're really
us?
fucking up.
I know we are.
This is another rapid question, which is not been very rapid to be honest with you, but it's
Okay.
been nice. Okay, you're making out with a hot, sexy guy, and things are heating up. However, it comes to light that neither of you have condoms. All the stores are closed, and the only option is to do TaskRabbit, where condoms are $30 for a 3-pack. He asks if you could Venmo him for half. Are you still going to smash?
Absolutely not.
This is a real thing that happened to Steffie. This is a real thing that happened to
Are
Steffie.
you
This happened
kidding
to
me?
me. This happened to me. She's so disgusted.
I'm so
Would
angry.
you tell him that? This is the type of guys. This is why I'm saying we need to go out. This is what's happening in my life.
I'm clutching my pearls.
You did smash, right? You smashed. Did you not?
But it was at the low peak of I had gone through a breakup of like a fucking long time, and he was like my first person I was
So
hooking
you
with.
Venmoed him $15 and then you smashed.
No, I didn't do the Venmo thing. I don't think I did the Venmo thing.
Oh, so you
but
say-
I,
so-
but I still, but the fact that happened,
fact that he
right?
asked
The
already.
fact that it happened, and I
Did
still
he happen? Did he ask after things went down or like before you guys hooked up?
before.
Oh my God. Steffi, let me hold
what-
you.
What would you do in that situation?
Like you're joking, right? Like you're joking. Also, like I'm a raw dog queen, so we'd never even go there. I just I'm like, and
Doesn't even apply.
yeah, it
Doesn't apply.
doesn't apply to me. No way, because condoms are like have a very big reaction to them.
Like allergic.
So that's why, like I told you yesterday, like I ask everyone to get tested up front.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love that.
So no, I
That's
wouldn't
hot.
Venmo someone for
Yeah.
condoms.
Let's go to unofficial analysis and we'll wrap this up.
Okay.
First of all, before we start, what kind of card is it? Is it personal, business?
My card?
Yeah.
It's my day to day.
It's your day to day.
Yeah, it's not my business one.
It's
no.
not your
What kind of credit card is it?
It's a Chase.
Sapphire Reserve.
Yeah, Sapphire.
Sapphire.
We
So you
love
pay
that.
for it. You pay for that one.
Yeah.
$5.50
yeah.
a year?
Do you
There we
care?
go.
Do you use the points? Are you a big point
Yes,
person
I do.
for travel?
For travel. Yeah.
We love that. Well, this is sort of just your summary stuff. You spent, so your statement was like $9,600. This is for about a month,
Okay.
30 days from,
I think it was
from-
August to September.
Was it
Was it
August to-
September to August to September? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it was August. Yeah, August 14 to September 13.
Okay.
You spent about $9,600. That's that's on the higher end, but hey, you're killing it. Your top spendings. These are
Okay.
categories.
Okay.
Travel,
Oof,
2,300. Shopping, 2,300. Food and drink, 1,400. Not that bad actually. Health and wellness, 1,100. Bills and utilities, also 1,100. I wanted to ask you about that. That's kind of
Okay.
weird. Groceries, you ain't cooking. 439. That's nothing. Gift and donations.
No, that's normal. Groceries for 1 month. You
This- well,
spent that much.
No, this is
for it.
normal if you're not cooking. I think. I don't know.
I cook a lot.
You do?
No,
Yeah.
but 400 is pretty normal. That's really,
Really?
to me, it's low.
Oh my god, we spend like, well, maybe for one person.
No, yeah. For one person
Yeah.
per month, I've
Yes.
realized that's the average amount.
You're right about that.
That's
You're right
also
about
what CalFresh gives.
that. I don't know who
at
that
the-
is.
Oh my god. It's EBT, like when you don't have money
Oh,
and they
okay,
give
okay,
you
okay. Yeah.
CalFresh. That's like the max
your
I think they
maximum.
give you for.
Gift and donations, $350. Subscriptions, $300. Gas, only $100. Parking, $23. Entertainment, $8. Grand total of
Gas,
$96.72.
$100. Do you not drive a lot?
I do. I drive a lot, but
you were
to be
traveling a lot
fair,
this
I do have another card as well. So
Right,
this isn't
right.
like all of it.
Is it
is
more
not
of your
on
business
here.
stuff on?
Yeah,
okay.
like my mortgage, say for instance, is like
Okay.
not on here.
Okay, right.
First of all, 1K on spas. Like you're really into health and wellness. That's a thing.
Or just fucking relaxing.
Wait,
Well,
wait a second. Are you sure it wasn't a strip club?
You went to a strip club?
Yeah, like how is that not on there?
Well, we don't know what it's called. Like we may not have known
Do you know
that.
the name of the strip
what is it
club?
called?
Or what?
What's it called?
Is it love? No, that's not.
First of all, your Chase isn't gonna categorize as a strip club.
Oh, that's
so
right. That's right.
we might have thought it was an alcohol and bar or something.
Maybe.
What was it called?
It was called 939.
Oh, if it's just a number, there's no way.
Okay,
we would've caught that.
yeah.
But that was where?
God, I'm sweating, you guys.
Because it's hotter. Because we're
Because
going
she
through
should
Money
talk about
talk.
finances. She never talks
Yeah.
about finances.
I don't think it's on here.
Did you know but do you track this stuff? Do you know that you're spending this much on
Yeah.
potentially? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what do you go to? Can I ask you about your spa situation though? I go to spas when I'm feeling really shitty. Like personally, like when I'm not feeling good, I'm like, oh, I need to go like relax and like.
So I get massages. Is this under like the health and wellness stuff?
Yeah, we put like drugstore, gusha, which I didn't know what it was, hair removal,
Gua sha, bro. Gua
physical
sha.
therapy. Spa.
It's
So,
like when a little
yes.
Asian woman uses like a jade and pushes the shit like
Well, she
all the
spends 110 on
toxins
that a month.
Right.
out of your body. Do you think it works? I don't know if it works.
I got that one time and I really liked it. But let's get back to the spa. The spa, the
$300,
spa
explain
is
yourself.
massages.
Okay.
Yeah, and I really, really need them, love them, and I get them regularly.
And you're tipping like 50% still, you think?
I'm tipping a lot, like a good
Okay,
amount.
okay.
Yeah.
Dad,
You're
they
big
must
tipper.
love you.
Yeah. So
But the hair removal thing, is this like sorry, is this like a monthly thing or just like a one time quarterly?
no, the hair removal it probably is like a monthly thing, I think. Yeah, because you get your eyebrows threaded, your mustache, the pussy and asshole. Yeah. I mean, at this point it would probably behoove me to get laser instead, but I don't know. Like I
You like
still
the
get
pain.
wax. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, it is like I mean, obviously you can afford it, but $150 a month, it's
It's
that's
up
pretty,
there.
That's a hefty,
Pretty high
expense.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I don't like to grow it out so much is why. So I go more often because if I grow it out, it's so painful.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Did you do that when you were in a relationship? Did you still remove as much? Because I feel like
not
when I'm
as
in a
often.
right?
Yeah, not as often because you're like, we've been here a while.
Yeah.
Like, who
Yeah.
gives
Yeah.
a shit?
It's okay.
Work through the bushes.
The bushes.
It's
That's
Or
fine.
like I used to do the at home I used to just wax myself because I didn't really care if there were patches left behind or if the job wasn't well done. I'm like, who cares?
Right.
It's him.
Yeah. But now you're getting your ass eaten out every day. So you
Exactly.
kind of have
gotta get
to.
it.
So it's got to
You
be in
gotta
like
get this Chinese
pristine
lady in there.
condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pristine condition. Why were your bills and utilities so high?
My bills, because it's LA.
I know, but your electric and water bill is $850.
You should get that checked.
For
That's
for
weird.
my context, mine was $183.
Wait, you must have a big house. Maybe you have a
But
big
is it
house.
8 times the size of my house?
What the fuck? That was my bills and utility from DWP.
But do you,
Yes,
hold on,
dog.
but do you take care of like your family, someone else's utilities?
No, this is just my house.
And then Spectrum, like you got they're charging you like twice in the same month. I don't know if it's cable, internet, but like it's just high. It was just high. I don't know how big your place is, but I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, maybe
because it's the
you're-
summer. Like we're not really using.
No, because I mean, like, that's a really good question. I need to look into that.
Yeah, you should check that out because maybe something's being run, like the air conditioning. Maybe you leave it on like all day.
No, but I don't. My place is like, it's a 3.2. It's a 3.
Even when I leave mine on all day, I think the highest I've ever paid is like $300 or $400.
No
like,
shit.
This 900 is like 853. That is fucking high. I know it is also for 2 months.
Yeah.
Because they do buy it.
Oh,
But still,
but still, you should
but
still
mine's
check it out.
183 for 2
Do you
months.
have an
too.
electric car?
I don't.
Huh? Then you
No,
should check
I drive
that
an
out.
Audi.
Okay.
That's
okay.
not an
Well,
electric.
we gotta check
yeah.
that.
All
We gotta
right.
get you back.
What else? Fun stuff did you,
You know, we
guys
thought your
find?
Hulu was kind of high, $75. I don't know what's going on there.
What the
Your
fuck?
Hulu subscription? Mine's like $9.99 or some shit.
Why is my
Maybe
Hulu
it's a
like
whole year.
that?
Maybe you paid for the whole
Did you
year.
pay for a whole year?
Maybe.
But I think it's
Right?
more if it's for a whole year. Hulu's
No.
kind of expensive now.
No, it's like $9.99. I paid. Oh no, that's Spotify.
Hulu's like 12 or 13 now. So I think for the whole year it's probably close to 100, which is why I think this is maybe have a lot of add-ons.
Yeah.
You know, like Showtime, HBO. or
Yeah,
whatever.
I think
Yeah,
I probably
That's
do.
insane.
Yeah.
I just found out we go to the same health and wellness. This person, the massage person. Like,
Yeah, she's the gua sha lady. Megumi?
I didn't get mine there, but yeah, she did ask me if I wanted gua sha there. But
She's so great.
She's
and
really
she's
sweet.
so affordable.
yeah, and she's
Yeah.
Asian, so I feel like it's. I don't know. I just like that.
We like it.
She's Japanese.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I gotta
Make you
support.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Shout out.
great.
Yeah, but we had another model on. I called you a model. Have you ever modeled?
Never.
Do you wanna get into that?
Oh God, no. Oh God,
just
no,
so
no,
gorgeous.
no. Oh,
But
thank
okay,
you.
my other friend also goes like it's surprising. I feel like it's fun to get nosy because now I know what people like. It's an excuse to know what the things are doing.
Yeah.
So when I had the model, I saw it too, and I was like, oh,
It's
is it
on the
weird
same
now?
place.
Now I'm like, is it weird to go to the person that I wanted to always want? Like if I found out about a facialist without asking them, now that I've seen their finances.
I see.
Is it weird?
No, it's not weird. This is
No,
not
it's a
like,
little weird.
There's no HIPAA violation for fucking
Right.
cosmetic stuff.
No, but something about like it feels intimate. Like
Did you
it's
want
like
it to
a
be just
doctor. It's
yours?
like if you saw me at your doctor's and I saw that, would you be like, oh, like
Yeah, I mean, if you started,
weird.
a little bit only because you had access to my stuff, but also it's like, good job. I have the best doctor ever. Dr. Kawashiri is the best. I'd be like, good for you, Steffie. You're in good hands.
yeah, but do you bring it up later? This sounds like a Larry David episode.
Yeah.
Like this is like a Seinfeld or whatever. Anyways, Kurt.
Okay, speaking of affordability, what I found interesting about your credit card statement is that when you go shopping, you're shopping at like Free People, PacSun, Aritzia, and I was like, hey, nothing wrong with those places, but I'm like, those are for my people. That's like people in my income class.
Yeah.
And you're making a lot of
Yeah.
money. And
Those
so
are
I just thought it
gifts.
was interesting. Oh, these are all gifts.
Gifts are
She's
gifts.
She's buying herself Louis
I would
Vuitton.
never.
She's like, no.
Okay,
No,
okay.
I'm not opposed to, I buy a lot of more vintage stuff or like hand-me-downs but yeah, this is usually
These are gifts.
for gifts.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because
Okay,
I have
okay.
a 21-year-old niece that I live with or that I also, support at the moment. She goes to college, stuff like that.
Back to
Is she the
school.
one
You're
on-
paying for back to
This is
school
back to school
clothes.
shopping? That's adorable. It
Yeah.
really is. It's August. That makes sense.
Yeah, so if it's like,
That's
What
really
is
cute.
an expensive? Have you done an expensive purchase in the last year or two that's like fashion related?
yeah,
Or do you
like
splurge?
like Lucchese boots and stuff like that, which kind of like border around like $1,000. But I don't buy a lot for myself. But when I do, I usually get nicer things, like one item.
And do you feel like when I buy myself something like that, I leave it in the closet for like 3, 4, 5 months because
Why?
I'm scared of like fucking it up. Like it makes no sense, and then the styles add.
Well, then it's no longer fall, so you can't wear
No, I
it.
know. So I have a lot of things that are in pristine condition, but it's just because like I hoard it.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you're seeing it as something that's maybe gonna gain value over
no,
time.
it's
I don't
not.
know.
I'm scared.
You have an interesting relationship
not,
with
it's
like
not.
things, like with
Yeah.
things you buy. It's not so simple for you.
No, I realize a lot has to going to therapy. My therapist told me, well, like I talked to her about this, is that I'm scared of letting things go because I'm bad at saying goodbye, and it has to do with my father.
And now it's trickled down
And
to fucking
death.
sweaters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, now it's like tiny things, like
Yeah.
like have you ever seen an episode of Hoarders? And there's like this episode of like this kid cannot doesn't want to throw away like a cotton ball away because it means like something.
Yeah, there's some sentimental
Yeah.
attachment
Yeah, I'm
to
like
the
that.
cotton ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little, insane. But,
Thank
you're
you.
fine,
No,
yeah.
I need someone to tell me I'm insane.
Yeah.
I like
But
it.
if it's like a pair of boots and not a cotton ball,
Yeah.
that would make more sense.
Yeah, we like that.
But for me, like my big purchases, like I dive, I free dive. And wetsuits are expensive. Fins are expensive. Like diving itself is an expensive thing. So
Wow, that's so
A side question: how long can you hold your breath for?
I think probably just the same as an average person. Like hold my
Freediving
breath
is
just
like
now.
you just fucking go, right? Like
Yeah, but then I know how to stay calm, and hold my breath underwater, which maybe a regular
couple
person.
minutes?
Yeah, but
that's a couple minutes is already pretty.
I think everyone has similar lung capacities on land. Like we can hold our breath now, and mine I don't imagine will be a lot better than yours. But underwater it will be because I'm a good swimmer and I know how to stay calm underwater.
Efficiency. Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
rather-
You spent something at the Kimpton Palladian Hotel for $80. That is too low to be a hotel room. Did you get room service? What is this?
Yeah, it probably was room service. I was at the Kimpton Palladian in Seattle for a show, and production covers the cost of the hotel. So I imagine this is just me ordering something.
$81 though.
She
What's the
tipped.
food?
Well, $70 is tipped.
Okay,
Okay, for
she
French
got a
fries.
granola
Okay.
bar and yeah.
Probably. Sick.
Damn.
So is this like
She liked it.
This is it. This is the game.
If you ever want us to ever analyze, I have friends who are like, "Can I come back?" And they want to know actual financial shit about their.
We have an analyst, and she
Yeah.
sent us this morning, and this
Yeah.
is what we're sort of doing. Oh, like your top. Oh, this is kind of top 10 spending by place.
yeah,
So Vidara Hotel.
Vidara
Spa.
in Vegas?
That's where you spent the
Okay.
most. Oh yeah, this it's $860 at a Best Buy. I don't know what the fuck you bought at a Best Buy.
What did I buy at a
Who goes
Best
to Best Buy
Buy?
anymore? Or was you trying to do podcasts on the go and you needed some equipment?
No, what the fuck did I buy at Best Buy?
$100?
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Vidara, I went a little bit. Yeah, I spent in
But
Vegas.
hotels are expensive.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Best Buy was odd. LA, you're gonna call them LADWP. You're gonna call them.
Yeah.
Wait. Go ahead.
Okay.
Keep going.
Oh, Park MGM. This
Yeah.
is like a restaurant.
Roy
700
Choi's.
You must have paid for people because you didn't go. I think this is like one or two
Right.
times.
And Roy Choi did heavily discount this bill.
Really?
So the fact that it was so much more, and this is all that I paid, it was a friend's 40th birthday.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Roy
Gotcha.
Choi, shout out. We love him. He's
Yeah,
so great.
it's so good. It was so fun.
Let's talk about food real quick then.
Yeah.
You spent how much did you spend here? You spent the 40% of your check on American food.
Okay.
You spent 1% on boba. I like that boba.
I know.
You bought one fucking boba. Okay, you bought one boba. You bought 5% of your month on Chinese food.
Okay.
You don't drink that much coffee. $66 worth of coffee. You spent 50% on Korean
Well,
and
that's
Mexican.
the spot. That's the Roy Choi spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she
Oh.
spent like $700. This is buying
Yeah.
money, so that's like.
But this
Oh.
breakdown is actually pretty accurate. Like it would be heavy on the Asian food for
Yeah.
sure.
But what
We like
Asian
that.
food? Not would it be really Korean?
It would
food?
be Korean, yeah. 'Cause,
Really?
Yeah, K-Town, and if I go out with friends, it's always going to be Korean food, probably.
Wow, that's surprising. I wish I could see it in the numbers, like without the like. Because most people like we've had on the pod for some reason have like a hatred toward Korean, though they won't. You
not even
when I
true.
did yours, he had like one Korean.
Well, I don't eat a lot of Korean food, but that's just because I didn't grow
What
up
do you
eating it.
eat?
I eat a lot of Japanese food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Japanese and Vietnamese and Thai are my go-to.
Thai, yeah.
That's a good one. All right. Well, I think that we wrap it up now.
Yeah, I mean, in conclusion, I think you're doing great.
Thank you.
We've had a lot of different people on here, and this is no spanking for you. We usually spank people who are
Great,
bad.
thank you. I don't think I'm an overspender.
No.
But I will check my bills and utilities because that seems like I'm being.
You're getting
DWP
caught.
Yeah.
I think there's some leakage, like
Something's
electric
happening
leakage or
there.
something.
Yeah, something's happening for sure. But thanks for doing this, you guys. This is really enlightening. Thanks for doing. Really enlightening. I'm telling you. I'm like, oh, did I not know myself? Because like, you just kind
Nobody
of don't.
checks. Nobody checks their.
Nobody checks.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also like low key embarrassing, right? You're like, oh fuck, like I'm spending this on that.
Yeah, but,
Don't shame yourself.
No, don't shame
over
yourself.
This
We're
is
about
supposed to be fun.
we don't shame. It's more about like judging with love, and I think if it means a lot to you, like clearly the health and wellness, you like it, and helps you mentally and all that stuff. I think it's fine that you spend, whatever.
Can I
$300
just say that bill would be so much higher for the health and wellness if it was legal to have like rub and tugs for women? Like if there was a place, then it was just I would just be there 3 times a week as long as I didn't see the guy's face.
Right.
Oh, you want a guy to do it?
Whoever, I don't care, just hands.
Just good
Like
hands.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like
Small hands.
Small hands.
yeah, if that was somehow legal in the United States, my God.
But anyways, thank you so much for doing the podcast. This is
Thanks,
amazing.
you guys. This
Um,
is really fun.
Is there anything you'd like to plug? Let our listeners know.
Yeah, I do a podcast with my ex-lover Bobby Lee called TigerBelly, and I do one with Esther Povitsky and Annie Letterman called Trash Tuesday. And yeah, you can find me on Instagram at CalamityK, and that's it.
Check it out. Please follow us on all the socials at Cuties Pod. You can also follow me on there at the Fumi Abe. That's TheFumiAbe.
And you can find me on my Instagram, Baked Goods, BAIKEDGUDS, at my website, SteffieBake.com. And until next week,
Yes, spend your money wisely
or don't.
have fun.
Yeah.
Bye.